What I'm about to discuss is Mobile Center with integration to unified functional testing and application lifecycle management. Now let's start with an admin login. I'm gonna log in now. Now on the administration page, we could see the lab management, and we have direct visibility of all the devices connected to our computer or server, and we could also see all the apps on the apps tab. And at this instance, we have 4 apps, and we could actually see all the users could actually access the mobile center itself. And on the left hand side, you can see all the lab management, which we have 1 device, 4 apps, and 2 users. So this serves as like high level dashboard where you can actually see and visualize all the devices, all the apps, and all the users. Imagine you have multiple devices and multiple apps which can be managed in one page. Now let's go to the device lab. Now on the device lab, if we go to the main page, so we can actually see all the devices which are connected, similar to the previous page, and but we can actually filter according to OS, Android or iOS. So let's say I'm going to click iOS, and at this instance we only have Android. So it's ease of navigation. Now, if we untick that, scroll down, you can actually see all the features and filter by features. And now it's a physical device connected to mobile center. Now if we click the emulator, so it actually omits the physical device, and it can be either phone or tablet if you have like omni-channel devices, which can be managed centrally to the mobile center. And we can also see by availability, by connection. So one of its strengths is actually being able to remote connect to different machines and different devices. So what's the power of that? We can actually remotely test the the mobile device itself and the mobile app remotely anywhere you are at any given time. So aside from the mobile filters, we can create filters aside from the apps, the mobile devices, operating systems, all the features. So let's say we have multiple projects running at the same time. So we can have multiple workspaces, multiple apps filtered and by device according to your structure of your projects. Now, if you move on to the apps tab, now we have like all the apps which are installed in mobile center, and on the left you can actually see we can filter it by Android or iOS, and you can see we can only see all the iOS applications and take that, and all the Android apps itself, or by workspace, similar to the device lab, but this is more filtering all the apps by workspace. Now let me show you how we could actually test the device. Let's go to device lab, go to the main page, ADM products, and at this point we're gonna use Micro Focus Unified Functional Testing. Now you can see it is loaded and it shows all the objects that it supports for testing. And because we're actually testing a mobile device, that is what we're gonna choose. Scroll up, take mobile, press OK. Now you can see UFT is actually loading. Now in UFT, this is the simple IDE. We're gonna create a new test. Because it is a GUI test we're gonna do. We're gonna test the GUI of the mobile phone. So let's say mobile underscore test, click create. Now let's configure EFT to be connected to the mobile center. We click the tools options, GUI testing. Now we go to mobile, connect to mobile center. Now let's actually give the connection. We can grab it here and this URL. Copy to the port number. Minimize, come back. Username is admin at default.com. Now it's a super secret password which I cannot tell you. Let's try to get the workspaces. That's okay. Let's untick SSL. Get workspaces. Now we have the default workspace. That's okay. Now we go to record and run settings. Now we're gonna go to mobile applications. Use mobile center. Now we can actually see the apps which is actually in mobile center. And because we're testing to an Android device, we click Android, and now it's actually any. We actually check the app we're gonna test. Then mobile center app, advantage shopping. Now because once we actually run the test and the recording, it's gonna automatically install the app to the mobile and uninstall after it's actually done. Click apply. Now specific device. Now we choose the device to test in, and right now we're testing on Huawei. Right. So imagine the power. What we can do here is we can actually test multiple devices and multiple apps in one single centralized place. Okay. Press apply. Press OK. Now I'm gonna start the recording. Now as you can see, it installs and uninstalls the mobile app itself. Now we click on laptops. As you can see, once I click the object in the app, it automatically increments the number on the recorder. So let's go to HP Chromebook. Now it's actually have incremented step 2. Now let's go back and let's verify laptops. So let's do a checkpoint verifying laptops that were in the laptops page. And by going to the checkpoint, you can actually see different checkpoints that we can actually do. It can be standard output value. It may be a bitmap, which is expected, or just a plain text, or a plain text output value. It also supports database checkpoints, XML resource, XML output value. So once we do a functional test, we do verify that the steps is functional. At the same time, the expectation without verification. At this instance, you're going to be verifying and using standard checkpoint. And let's verify this header. Now, as you can see to the left, it actually identifies the object and grabs the text inside. So we just highlight that and press OK. And here, you can see all the properties, the type, and the value are all captured. And we could verify on different properties as you want to. But right now, we're going to verify it to the text and value of laptop sign. And it has also the capability of parameterizing or having different permutations or combinations, or in short, it can be a dynamic verification if we want to. But right now, it's going to be a constant verification. I press OK. Now let's do a stop recording. Now, as you can see, it has generated all the scripts by just clicking the objects on the mobile phone. Now, by saving the script itself, we can fully automate the functionality test of a mobile application. Now, let's rerun the test. Press run. Imagine it will be thousands of test scripts and functionality steps that we're gonna do. Everything will be done once and repeatedly in a single button. Imagine the power of that and the amount of time you can actually save. As you can see to the left now, as it actually repeats the steps that we do on the script, it actually does on the right hand side on the mobile app itself. So as the emulator runs right now, it's a direct mirror or a reflection of what is happening right now on my mobile phone, which is beside me. Now, after the test is run, we have a dashboard which has been automatically created for us. And we can actually see where it has been tested, the duration, and the step iteration. And you can see on every step of the way, there's a screenshot. So that we have evidence that the functionality has passed. And you can see the device itself, the manufacturer, the model, and the type, which is Android, what version it is. So we could actually see a full traceability on what we have tested at. So it's actually done on each step. And here on the standard checkpoint, and if we click that, it shows that it has verified that the header is actually correct. Now let's go back. Now the next I'm going to show is being able to remote test and schedule a test of a mobile app. Now we're going to go to a test management tool, which is called ALM. Let's configure that. So let's copy the URL of the server. Copy this one. Now we enter the credentials. So let's put admin and a super secret password, which I'm not going to tell you. Let's connect. Now we can actually choose which domain it is at, which project, and now we're going to choose the AOB, login. Now we press close. Now the script, we're going to save it to ALM right now. Now let's save it to a test plan. For easier to navigate, let's choose mobile, let's say functional. Like that, so let's mobile test, press save. Now if we go to, now it's actually saved to ALM. Let's go to ALM. Let's log in to the same credentials. Default domain, project which is AOB. Let's log in. Now on a successful login, let's go to the testing tab. Now on the test plan, once we click that, let's navigate to the folder that we created earlier. There you go. You can see um, the mobile test that we've created and uploaded, and now it is accessible anywhere we want and wherever we are. Now let's do a remote test. So from here, let's create a folder. Let's say mobile underscore demo underscore test. Uh, let's press OK. Now in this folder, let's create a new test set. We can actually just right click and choose new test set, and or from this folder, you could choose a new test set from the top. I prefer this side, and let's say mobile. Um, and I mean, let's change that. Android score AOS Advantage Online Shopping score test. Let's press OK. As you can see here, before I press OK, we can actually um, choose the parameters for traceability and which target cycle, which test build. Let's press OK. Now, now on this test sets, we can actually select a test that we created earlier. So let's navigate, choose the mobile test, drag it to the left, let's press exit. Now we can actually run the test set, and let's create that the host for the test. So this is like going to be the agent which will run the test remotely. Let's run it. Now what we can see is we could run the test remotely anywhere we are, any given device, and the mobile app itself will be tested at any given time. So this is full integration of an application lifecycle management with a live device plugged into a laptop and being managed to through a mobile center with multiple apps, multiple devices on a central managing location. Now with the power of video recording, I'm going to do a pause and run it again as soon as we are finished. Now it's all finished. As you can see, the test run has actually passed. We press exit, and now below you can see all the steps which has been done, and we can actually launch the report from here, from the application lifecycle management. So we can actually share the report itself and send it to the QA manager, um, or the developer if necessary, depending which persona we would like to send the report to. Okay, now let's go back to the mobile center. Now what we can show after doing a remote test now is a scheduled test. And in this scheduled test, by just right clicking on the test itself, you can go to these are the different steps that we can actually create or processes with application lifecycle management. So, so we can actually do a test run schedule, which we're going to do now. And on this test run schedule, we could create by conditions. So, for example, um, before we actually verify a functionality, we have to make sure that the app has loaded first, or we have to log in first. So all those two steps should pass prior to doing all those functionality. But at this instance, we're gonna do a scheduled test. So right now, we're gonna create a date and time, and it's 6th of October, uh, 6:32 p.m. If you can see on the right hand side. Now let's do like let's say 2 minutes from now, 6 like 6. Uh, let's say 34 p.m. Seems right. That's okay. Now okay. Now you can see it's actually waiting, and in a minute the test will run as scheduled as we want to. So with the power of video recording, I'm gonna pause and come back to it as soon as it runs. Now we're back. Now as you can see on the right hand side, it's October 6th at 6:34 p.m. Now the runtime, UFD runtime is now triggering the test. My mobile is actually throwing the app right now, starting the app, I mean, and it's doing the test and the exact functionality as expected and the checkpoints that we're actually doing. So imagine the power of that. We can actually do a remote test wherever we are. We could do a scheduled test and a remote test all at the same time. So it's a full integration from the mobile center, which is managing all the mobile apps, and the UFD, which is actually doing a functional test on the mobile app, and an application lifecycle management tool, which can actually manage from the defects management, remote testing, scheduled testing, requirements management, and dashboards. So that is the power of mobile center, UFT, and ALM itself. And now, as you can see, the test run has passed. Thank you for watching my channel, and hope you continue watching my video series.